Hello everybody, in this video I will help you with your final exam preparation. I will discuss the 2024 Gauteng Prelim Paper 2 Question 3. In the diagram below, P is the point minus 912, Q the point 99 and R, they are vertices of triangle PQR. M is the midpoint of QR, so in other words we can do this, midpoint, so it's being, QR is being bisected, and N is a point AB on PM in the second quadrant. The equation of QR is given by, and then they give you the equation, 2y minus 3x plus 9 is 0, and then the angle of inclination of QR is theta. Remember, the angle of inclination is the angle that's being formed by the line and the x-axis measured in an anti-clockwise direction. Question 1. Calculate the coordinates of M, the x-intercept of line PM. So when you go to the sketch, you will see it's this little point there that we will calculate the x-intercept. Now, what was given was the equation of line QR. Well, this is going to help us since there's your equation. Remember, the rule is x-intercept make y 0. So in the equation, in y's place, we will substitute 0. 2 times 0 is 0, minus 3x plus 9 is 0. Let the 9 walk across, it becomes negative 9, and we divide both sides by negative 3, and we see that x is equal to 3. Therefore, as a coordinate, M is the point 3, 0. Question 2. Determine the equation of PM. So we will find that one's equation in the form y is equal to mx plus c. Then, from the previous slide, now we know that m's coordinate is 3, 0. So when we want to find the equation, the first thing we want is m, the gradient. Therefore, there's our gradient formula from the formula sheet. So then, the y coordinate at P, let me just do this for you. On your coordinate, this is a very useful hint. I always write, this is the x at P, this is the y at P, and this is the x at M, this is the y at M. Then I will never get confused when I substitute. So the y at P is 12 minus the y at M is 0 over the x at P is negative 9 minus the x at M is 3. And then on top we can say 12 minus 0 is just 12, and negative 3, at the bottom, negative 9 minus negative 3 is negative 12. Therefore, the gradient is negative 1. Then into y is mx plus c. This is now the gradient we know is going to be negative 1. Then you can choose either of the two coordinates. I chose the one that was given, negative 9 and 12, consisting of an x and a y. In y's place, I substitute 12. In x's place, I substitute negative 9. Therefore, I said negative 1 times negative 9 is plus 9. Let's find c's value. 12 minus 9 is c. C is 3. And don't stop there. They wanted the equation. So we have to conclude with y is equal to negative x plus 3. Question 3. Determine the size of theta. So it was given that the angle of inclination of QR is theta. So remember, there's this formula, m is equal to tan theta. That is how we will find the angle there, the angle of inclination. What we do know is that the equation of QR was given by that one. So M means gradient. So let's write this equation that was given in standard form so that we can find the gradient. Standard form is y is mx plus c. The first thing that I did, I took the negative 3x and the plus 9 across, and then now you multiply you divide right through by 2, and you end with y is 3 over 2x minus 9 over 2. And then it's this one, that's the gradient. Y is mx plus c. So into the inclinations formula, tan theta is equal to m. In m's place, the gradient, we substitute 3 over 2. And now when we want to find the angle, remember on your calculator you'll say shift tan 3 over 2, and you find the angle 56,31 degrees. Question 4. Show that B is equal to 3 minus A if P, N and M are collinear. Collinear means they all are points on that very same line. Now, let's see. Where does the B and the A come from? It's point N's coordinate, A and B. So what we do is we can substitute into the line because we worked it out. Remember from one of the previous sums, we worked out line PM's equation was y is equal to minus x plus 3. So into x and y's place, we will substitute A and B. Have a look. There's your equation. In y's place, we substitute B. In x's place, we substitute A. So in fact, that's the answer, but they want it as B is 3 minus A. We have B is minus A plus 3. So the only thing that we'll do is we'll swap the two. Therefore, B is equal to 3 minus A. You know, you call that one B in terms of A. Question 5. Hence, determine the value of A and B if NQ is equal to 5 root 5 units. So it's given that this length is 5 root 5, and we are looking for A and B's value. And remember, if it says hence, it means you take the answer from the previous sum. The fact that they mention a length, we will use the distance formula from the formula sheet. So the length D is 5 root 5, and we will use Q's coordinate, the 0.99, and we will use N's coordinate, A and B. So therefore, if you want to, you can say this is x1, y1, and then A is x2, y2. It will help you when you substitute. So in this place, back here, I'm there, 5 root 5 squared. Stop. What happened? Where does the 2 come from? The square. I wanted to get rid of the square root, so I squared both sides. Now let's go to the substitution. The x of 2 is the A value, and x at 1 is 9, and the y at 2 is B, and the y at 1 is 9. Then this one, let me show you. 5 root 5 squared. You will deal with this 5 individually. You will say 5 squared is 25. And then when you square this one, root 5 squared is just 5. So that thing's answer is 125. And then what we can also do, let me just show you, in our little equation, we have two variables. There's an A and a B. So what we can do is in B's place, we can substitute 3 minus A so that we only have one variable. So there we go. Now you understand 5 root 5 squared is 125. A minus 9 is there. And then in B's place, we substitute from the previous, hence 3 minus A. Then we can say 125 equals, this thing is A minus 9, A minus 9. You FOIL it out, you end with A squared minus 18, A plus 81. And then what I did here was I said 3 minus 9 is negative 6. Then in the next step, I'm going to do this minus a minus 6 twice, minus a minus 6. You FOIL it out and you end with a squared plus 12a plus 36. And then you add your like terms. A squared plus a squared is 2a squared. Negative 18a plus 12a is negative 6a, and the constant terms 81 plus 36 is 117. So now we want to factorize, but we can only factorize when it's equal to 0. So the 125 will walk across, subtract 125 plus 117, you end with 8. And then you can use the quadratic formula to factorize, but I would rather just divide by 2 right through and end with 0 is a squared minus 3a minus 4. Who needs the quadratic formula to do that? And then we factorize a minus 4, a plus 1, and then a is equal to 4 or a is equal to negative 1. But if you go to point N, you'll see it's in the second quadrant. So in fact, we won't use the 4, the positive 1. We will only stick to the negative coordinate. A is equal to negative 1. So to get to the corresponding y value, the b value, I said there because N lies in second quadrant, we choose A is equal to negative 1 since all the x values there are negative. So we know that B is 3. Let me do this for you. I left out a step. B is equal to 3 minus A. That's better. So in A's place, we substitute negative 1. A minus times a minus is a plus, and then B's value is 4. 3.6. Determine the equation of a circle with O, the origin, as midpoint and passing through R. Yikes. Okay, what's happening here? Suddenly there's an invisible circle. So there's your O, that's the origin, and that is your circle's midpoint. So there at point R, we will find the circumference of a circle. So to the best of my limited abilities, it means there, oh my soul, there's a circle somewhere there. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, but I think you get the idea. And then OR is indeed a radius of that invisible circle. No wonder we don't understand maths. Everything is invisible. Okay, but let's carry on. So now for this circle, a circle that has a midpoint at the origin, did you know the equation is x squared plus y squared is r squared? So what we need is r's value. How will we get to that one? First of all, we can work out big R, on the circumference there, we can work out that coordinate. When we go back to the line QR, can you remember right at the beginning they said that M was the midpoint. So this means this side is that side. So we have something where we can say the midpoint formula, the x of the mid is the 1x plus the other x divided by 2. So in other words, this is the 1x, this is the 1y, and then R also is the point xy. So now into x of the mid, this is the mid, this is x of the mid, and 0 is y of the mid. So we can substitute those points in. Have a look. X of the mid is 3 equals, and then this x is number 9, plus this x is what we are looking for. It's this one at R. And then solve this little equation of yours, times 2, bang, bang, times 2, we end with 6 equals, and then this 9 walks across, it becomes negative 9. 6 minus 9 is x is negative 3. And then for the y coordinate, we have this formula. Y of the mid is the one y plus the other y divided by 2. So y of the mid is this point 0, because it's that x-intercept, and then this y is this y, and that y is this one at R. So we can solve y times 2, bang, bang, times 2. 2 times 0 is 0. Let the 9 walk across, and the y coordinate is -9. So now that we know r's coordinate is -3, -9, into our little equation, x squared plus y squared is r squared. In x's place we substitute -3, in y's place we substitute -9. Look, we're substituting r's coordinate since r is a point on our circle. Then we can say -3 squared is +9, -9 squared is +81, add them, r squared is 90. And then here, don't take the square root. We are so used to taking the square root when there's r squared. That's not what we want. We want r squared, since the formula on top there has a r squared in it. So therefore, our answer, the equation of the circle, is x squared plus y squared is equal to 90. This 90 is r squared. Number 7, the acute angle between lines QR and the line with equation y is mx plus 4 is 45 degrees. Determine the possible values of m. So m is a gradient. Now, if you look at this, you will say, Juffrou, what is going on here? Since where's this other line? Now, have a look at the sketch, this one. There's two scenarios here. We have our line QR, and then there's this new line, y is mx plus 4. Plus 4 is the c value, it's the y-intercept. So can you see, I drew in my own new line, this blue line. And then my blue line and QR, they meet and they have an angle of 45 degrees between them. So this blue line is the line y is positive mx plus 4. But you can also get a line minus mx plus 4. So if you go to the bottom sketch here, this red line, again, y is negative mx plus c, or plus 4 rather in this case. So this is the y-intercept, and then this red line has a negative gradient. And can you see there is still this angle of 45 degrees between my new invisible line and QR. So on the next slide, now I will zoom into finding m, the gradient. Okay, let's see. There's the question again. The acute angle between lines QR and the line with the equation y is equal to mx plus 4 is 45 degrees. Determine the possible values of m. So first of all, the first scenario, this is my blue line, y is mx plus 4. Now, have a look. Let beta, this angle over there, be the angle of inclination of the line y is equal to mx plus 4. Are you okay there? Since the definition for angle of inclination is it's the angle between the line and the x-axis measured in an anti-clockwise direction. So that's why B is an inclination. Then, can you see here at M, this angle that we calculated, feels as if it's a year ago, 56,31, that's an exterior angle. So we can say that angle beta plus this 45 degrees is equal to 56,31. And the reason is the exterior angle of a triangle. Remember, the theorem says the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. There they are, B plus sum 45. So we can solve beta. Beta is then 11,31 degrees. So how can we convert the angle there to gradient? We said it's the angle of inclination. So therefore, that's our little formula. M is tan beta. In beta's place, you substitute 11,31 and you don't use shift. You just enter into your calculator tan 11,31 and therefore the gradient is y is 0, 2. So in other words, that line's equation will be y is 0, 2x plus 4. In the next slide, we'll deal with the negative one. Okay, let's see. So now for the red line with the negative gradient, remember this line is equal to y is equal to negative mx plus 4. That's why C's value, the y-intercept, is 4. So again, what we can say, okay, wait, I want to show you. If this, oh, I'm sorry about the dog. If this is 56,31, then this one is also 56,31, vertically opposite angles. And then let's make B the angle of inclination of line y is mx plus 4 again. And then we can say that beta is equal to 45 degrees plus 56,31. Again, the reason is it's the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. We work out what beta is. It's 101,31. And then again, since we called it an angle of inclination, we can use the formula M is tan beta. Beta is 101,31. Don't use shift, put it in your calculator, and the gradient M is equal to -5. So in fact, that line's equation is y is -5x plus 4. Guys, there's a message from my dog, Carossi Valentino. Thank you for watching my video. If you click on the video in the left hand corner, it will take you to the next question of this paper. That one is also on analytical geometry. And then on the right hand side, you will see the two playlists. There's grade 11 analytical geometry playlist as well as the grade 12.